624-210. I would grab one of those. Maybe even if you already have some Wise. By the way, we have Wise on auto ship every 90 days. So if you want to load up or you want to send some somewhere, you can do that too, which is a good idea to send it to your kids. You know, they evacuated. Danny's over on the other coast. Right. They evacuated him out of Boca Raton from his college, but they were lucky that the storm didn't hit there. But again, you know, we think about the folks that are so much less fortunate than us, and we hope and pray that you know they're going to be fine, and that people are sending food. But remember, this is kind of like the onus is on you a little bit here. Okay, you gotta prepare. You know, I think about my mom and her husband John, and neither one of them get around. They don't drive anymore. And if they got marooned there, I'd love to know that they had food.
Yes. I love that.
And some bottled water and things like that.
And even in a winter storm, you wouldn't want her to go out. Like you might want her to have this on just a bad rainy day, or just something, you know, a reason not to go outside. Everything is gonna change. Here's what's coming, by the way. Yeah, man, that looks cold. Yuck. Wow. Now, I'm from New England, so I know what that looks like, okay? And I know what nor'easters are like, which is basically just a wintertime hurricane, guys. And I am telling you, it's even worse than a regular hurricane in many respects, because you can't even get out of your home. A lot of people get snowed in, the pipes freeze. Put some water aside and get one of these kits from Wise. Hey, listen, if you never use it, I'll be fine with that. Okay, if you never, I want you to try it, because I want you to spread the word. But if you have it for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 20 years before you use it, you probably won't, because most of us get hit with some kind of emergency in that time. But if you don't, isn't it nice to know that it's there? And the minute you activate it, whether you eat it dry or you add your water, cold, whatever, the minute you taste it, it's gonna taste like we're doing it right here. I mean, the shelf life of the food is amazing. And that's all because of this. The variety is unbelievable, Stephanie. I love the different types of entrees. I would like to take a second and just take a tour down the front of the table here so we can show you the different things. Let's go through what we have here, and then we have a testimonial. Okay, great. So you're getting white rice. You're getting that vegetarian chili. You are getting the teriyaki rice that we have tried. You are getting the creamy pasta rotini, the cheesy mac. Here's some snacks, granola, banana chips, a new inclusion. Guy is double dipping, noted, into the cheesy potato soup. That is brand new, and it is my new favorite. That's freaking awesome. And you are eating it cold. If you served this to me in a bowl at a restaurant, I'd be like, a bread bowl, right? It needs a bread bowl. Maybe I'd melt some cheese on top, but you know what? You don't have to. This is really, really good. Yeah, I double dipped. That's all right. We don't mind. So yeah, I love the fact that you're going back for more. That is what cold potato soup, how it can be so good when it's done by Wise. The potatoes. I know, they have a crispness. There's potatoes in there. Yes, there are. It's yummy. All right. Desserts? Chocolate pudding exclusive to us here at HSN, whey milk. This is so important to me as a mom, not because of necessarily the nutrition of the milk, but because milk is a comfort to kids. So that if the power is out, my kids are gonna be out of sorts anyway, the adults are gonna be running around, we can sit down, we can read our book at night, so we use a lantern or a flashlight, but we can have a sippy cup worth of milk. So it's just about keeping things routine and keeping everybody calm and happy. Again, it's all coming to you in the water and bug-proof bucket. And by the way, you look at the size of that bucket? Yep. We're shipping it for free. It's a good thing because it's heavy. I am doing everything but driving it to your house, okay? No, I can't drive it to all your houses, but it's gonna come to your door, and you know what you're gonna do when you get it? You're gonna look at it, you're gonna maybe try it that night, make it a side dish, whatever. Then you're gonna put it away and you're gonna go, I did it. You're gonna feel good. I'm sleeping at night. I know there's something coming. If I get stuck here, we're gonna eat. We're not just gonna survive, we're gonna thrive. All right, exactly. All right, Southwest rice and beans. Look at the size of the beans, the pieces of corn. Again, these foods are what you expect from their names. It is everything that we say they will be. Pasta Alfredo, and I like the variety too. Little spice with the Southwest, little more mild flavor for my picky kids with the Alfredo. Chicken pot pie, big pieces of carrots, peas. Once again, those potatoes have a crispness to them. They're not mushy and funky textured. They're exactly like you would want. Some great breakfast cereals, brown sugar maple, apple cinnamon, and then orange drink, because guess what? Drinking water for days and days on end makes us cranky. So just something to spice it up a little bit. Again, you are not struggling through it. You're getting by fine. Look at all the food that you're getting. And by the way, we have the protein kits coming up. We have the fruits and veggies coming up. We have all kinds of extra stuff that you can add.
And I have that in mind because I'm a big protein guy, but I think the dehydrated bananas are the greatest thing I've ever had.
Absolutely.
And the strawberries, we have all that. We have all that coming up a little bit later, but look at all the food that we are able to prepare with one of these survival kits. Listen, I can twist your arm as much as I can, but all I can say is, listen, get it, you're gonna love it. Don't listen just to us. We got some folks out there that have tried this and enjoy it. Why don't you listen to them and then come back and order yourself a couple of these. Take a listen.
I mean, I don't have to add any other vegetables, any other seasonings. It's all in there. It's really easy.
You know, that part of your life is not going to be in some kind of upheaval. It's pretty much what mom would put on the table.
One of the coolest things about having an emergency plan is being able to check off how you're going to get your water and how you're going to get your food. Because those two staples, once you've kind of put those in the back of your mind, right, and you know that those are already taken care of, then it leaves you a lot more bandwidth to focus on what else might be happening.
All right, we get so much food, I had to move because I can't see over the bucket, but that's okay.
She said, I'm behind the bucket and can't see me. Will you show everybody again? This is how it's delivered to you, and then when we take it out of the container, okay? And it's, you know, any of you that have seen the rice in the bag or any of that stuff, you understand how that works. Let's go over it because what I read earlier is that we have more meals in this than we've ever done before.
Absolutely.
It's not a lot of little sidey things or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we're not filling this with snacks. We want you to feed
meals.
your family. So there are 12 different varieties of entrees. So when you add up the actual amount of entrees, it's well over 110 individual entrees. So that's a lot of meals for your family. Then the additional things like the freeze-dried bananas, which are great, the granola, you're getting the dessert, the chocolate pudding, the ability to make the whey milk, the ability to make the orange drink. All of these are in these pouches. And again, those are those specially sealed Wise pouches that allow us to simply add water. We don't have to cook it at all. So if I took a bottle of room temperature ice cold water and put it into the entree, in a bowl, in a pot, whatever you gotta use, you're done. It's going to reconstitute, rehydrate, and turn into this great tasting meal. And keep it in this great bucket, slide it into a box under the bed, whatever works for you, keep it in a cool, dry place, and you have it for up to 25 years. It will taste the same tomorrow as it tastes in 25 years.
It's an absolute no-brainer. It's a great decision. Let me ask you a question. How many of you drive a car? How many have a spare tire? Probably most of you.
I hope so.
Why do you have a spare tire?
Just in case.
Love this girl. Right on it. We didn't
Used
even
it
rehearse
last
that.
week.
Didn't even try. We didn't practice that. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, you would, and that's a car. It's not food. You can live without a car for years. You can't live without food. So get yourself some extra food, and it's delicious. If this stuff sucked, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be eating it like that. You know, I'd take one bite and I'd be like, okay. This stuff is really delicious. And it reminds me, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the food my mom made for me when I was a kid.
Oh, it's comfort food.
Yeah,
absolutely.
My mom would, you know what my mom would do? She'd get like that rice-a-roni stuff and she'd throw some peas in there and some hamburger or whatever. And you know, before they were making the helper stuff, she was making it. Those are the kind of meals that make you feel good. You know, and I pray that, you know, maybe you still have a gas stove or you got a little stove if you want to heat it, but you don't have to. It's the taste and that comfort level that you bring to you and your family. You almost really have to do this if you've got, especially if you got kids living with you, or you have grandkids that come over, or if it's just your husband. Maybe a lot of you have a husband that's, you know, can't get around, or maybe it's your wife. You know, I look at my mom and her husband, John. They don't get out anymore. They can't. They're in their 80s. They're thriving in their own apartment, and they do their exercise and all stuff, but they're not leaving to go to the store anymore. They have somebody that does that for them. And so this is a way to take care of yourself. And you know, we teach that to our children. We say, be prepared. Right. Don't let things creep up on you. You know, it's like if Danny, you know, doesn't do well on a test and he said to me, well, you know, I'm like, did you prepare? Yeah. You know, although I'm picking on Danny, he does a good job, so it's not that. But you know what I'm saying? You got a spare tire for your car. You have insurance just in case. You know, would you get on an airplane with one engine? I wouldn't, right? You got redundant systems, backup systems that protect you. This is gonna protect you and your family. We have 5 minutes left. Get it home. FlexPay, what is that? It's $19.99, that's all you pay. We'll ship it out to your house. You get to take it for 30 days and check it out. Taste a little,
Eat
open
one.
it up.
Eat one.
Will you?
Yeah,
If you don't like
try
it,
it.
return it. You have nothing to lose. And then if you love it, you make the other 4 payments down the road. You sleep better at night knowing that you did the right thing. And that's really what it should be called the right thing. Because that's what it is. It's taking care of yourself just in case something happens. I hope nothing ever happens.
That's right. You don't ever want to need it, but here's the thing, boy, when you need it, you are really glad you've got it. Just like that spare tire.
Yeah.
I got a flat last week. I was really glad I had that.
Thanks, straight.
And it wasn't as bad as being hungry or my kids looking at me and saying, what do you mean we don't have anything to eat? Or what do you mean we can't get out?
I just can't believe people would gamble on something like food. It's
Right.
like, I understand if you use a spare and you didn't get another one, then you're kind of, out of luck somewhere and you got to call somebody. But you know you're going to need food. You know that that's going to be an issue. And let me just tell you this too. We get a lot of people that buy this just because they like the food and they use it when they go camping or in their RV. They'll throw it together as a side dish with hot dogs if they're cooking those on the grill.
Because it's easy and it tastes good. And to that point, you were talking about your mom and how she'd put together those meals. You don't have to put together anything. There's already veggies in here. There's already protein in here. Well, this one has rice, so you've got a starch and beans. You've got fiber and protein in your beans. You've got corn. You've got peas and carrots in the pot pie. These aren't meals that are elevated calories. That's not what makes them survival food. These are real meals. What makes them survival food is that all we have to do is add water. We don't have to cook them. You have a favorite yet?
Oh man, mac and cheese is good too.
So the mac and cheese has a fun little kick to it.
Is there meat in there?
There is a tiny bit of ham in there.
That is really good.
So that it's got a little, you expected bland.
It's ice cold, but it's really good.
Yep. No, and that's the thing that Wise does so well. Not only is the packaging there so you have the shelf life, the flavor profile is awesome because it tastes like you expect it to taste.
Notice I switched to a bigger spoon. See the size of my spoon? I was using this spoon, and now I'm using that one. Where are you? Yeah, I'm talking with my mouth full. Hey, look, I got a clock on me. This is really good.
Good. Nope, the flavor is wonderful. And that's why I love the fact that you can get it home. Please try one. And here's my other challenge. Don't tell your family that it's emergency food when you serve it to them, because they're probably gonna be like, oh, wow, did you make a new recipe?
If I put that mac and cheese in front of Daddy, it'd be gone in 30 seconds. And and you know what he would say? He'd say, is the bowl empty? Is there any more?
Right.
He would never in a million years didn't think it was that ridiculous little styrofoam thing you stick in the microwave.
Exactly.
That they charge you $3 or $4 a piece for.
And those aren't made by real chefs.
$1 a meal, everybody. Hey, can we show everybody how they make these? Oh, good. Thank you, Kyle. What are we looking at?
Chefs come first. The first thing they do is they write the recipes, and they're writing it just like you or I would if we cooked them from scratch. So the flavors are there, the texture's there, but the scientists at Wise Company are the real stars. They're the ones that figured out the packaging. It's called a modified atmospheric package, and what that means is the pouch seals out anything that makes food go bad. So it seals out the humidity, it seals out the oxygen, it will keep strawberries fresh in this pouch for up to 25 years. Your only job is to keep it in a cool, dry place. When you want to use it, you add water, and that's it. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to add hot water. If it was stone cold water, if it was a power outage in January in Connecticut, in Chicago, we both came from cold climates. We get this. I remember meals that weren't good without power because they were tuna and crackers. We didn't have this when I was growing up.
Sardines. I used to.
Ooh, my mom was nicer than that.
I was in college, and my roommate, all he had was 2 cans of sardines. We were like 19. What 19-year-old boys eat sardines? Well, when you're hungry, you'll do it. You don't suffer with this food. You thrive in it, as I said before. The preparation is easy. You don't need anything special. Just make sure you get, please, in addition to the food, put some water aside. I was one who didn't do that for a long time. Then I moved to Florida, and then because my dad was always like, you should always have a gallon of water for every person. So we always had 5 or 10 gallons of water in the house. And because he'd even be like, how are you gonna wash? So you gotta think about that. But this is food that can really get you through it. And maybe it's only 1 day, maybe it's 2 days, maybe it's 3. I pray it's no longer than that. My buddy Dave, a couple years ago, when we had that bad hurricane in West Palm, he got hit. And everybody was praying just to get power so they could get their electricity back on, or their generators running, right? A lot of them, it was just crazy what people were going through, because, there was no gas, the generators were no good. People were borrowing extension cords because half the neighborhood had some power. Don't go through that. Take care of yourself. I mean, if everybody took care of themselves, we'd all be all right, right? And not only that, Maybe you got a neighbor. Maybe you have neighbors that are older. Give them some food, right? Maybe get a couple of these, okay? I mean, you get 170 servings of food for $99. You can do the math. Yeah, some of it's liquid, some of it's drinks, some of it's desserts, but still, you're getting a ton of meals in here, enough to take care of yourself for a month, enough to take care of your family for about a week. I mean, and it's $100. I spent $100. I spent $200 for Danny and I to take him out before he went away to college.
Exactly.
By the way, he ordered everything on the dang menu.
He'd probably like a couple of these up there to help him eat at college.
They would last a week. They would be gone.
Endless uses, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the hunting, there's the camping. We're talking about preparedness because that's what September is. It's about being prepared for the rest of hurricane season, for winter weather season. But there are so many times where if all you have to do is open a pouch and add water, and you can have a great tasting balanced meal. I'll tell you what, when mom gets sick, everybody's glad to see these meals at my house.
By the way, this ships for free, which is a big deal because I know this is not light. It's got some weight to it.
Absolutely, it's heavy.
Because you have 170 different servings inside here. You can reuse the bucket afterwards. It's a great bucket just to have anyway for whatever you need. But I encourage you to get it. It is 5 flex with free shipping and handling. FlexPay just a way to divide the payments. And you see down there at the bottom where it says 6 flex, if you have an H&N credit card, we'll give you 1 more flex. Make it even less. Get it, all right? I'm telling you, you're gonna be glad. I hope you never use it. You're gonna use it. Trust me, you'll use it. Whether you're camping or that one day that you're like, you know, I don't wanna go to the store, but I need a side dish.
Right,
or
there
a main
you go.
dish. All right, so we've shown you everything that you got, and you see it's a huge amount of food. We're gonna step over, excuse me, we're gonna show you how you can elevate it even more with some extras.
Absolutely.
We're talking proteins, fruits, veggies, all kinds of great